we this morning? How are my ghouls doing? How are we, guys? Hello on the Twitch side of things. Hi, James. Hello, Hillenberg and Alexis Christina. How are you? Over on the YouTube side of things. Hello, Feed and Aaron Ruiz. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Deadwalk. How are you? Hello, Ed. I'm trying to move my foot thing that I got in front of me. It's a pain in my fucking ass. Oh, Mr. Cheeks is sleeping. Yes, we are live on both Twitch and YouTube this morning, guys. It's our normal routine for Coffee Chat of Horrors. I'm really excited. Darkbreaker, hello. Hi, KB. Happy Sunday. Yes. Happy Sunday to all the nards. Exactly. We got some really great information for you guys. Yeah, you see Mr. Chico Spiritus. Yeah, he's down there. That is Mr. Chico. If you guys don't know Mr. Chico, he is my fur baby Chihuahua. He has been a mascot and a part of the stream for 7 years. Hello, Reaper. How are you? Mischief Maker, good morning, good afternoon. How are you? How are the legs doing? How are you feeling? I'm fighting, Darkbreaker. I am fighting. That's how I am. You're doing okay? Let's get you some choo-choo. Rod's doing okay. Hi. I'm doing okay. I'm trying to fight. It's been a rough weekend. I don't mean to cry. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I don't mean to cry. Hi, Feed. How are you? I appreciate that, KB. I do. It's been fucking hard. Every day. But yeah, I got some really good news for you. I need to keep my mind busy. Yeah, I'm really excited. I got a lot of great stuff for you to listen to about the Monster Squad. I watched 2 documentaries this week to gain more insight. It's so much better to watch the documentaries and interviews than just to go to IMDb, copy and paste what everybody else has already put on the internet, because no matter what you do and what you see on the internet, so you can type in like 13 facts of Monster Squad or the Monster Squad facts. Everybody's got a fucking blog on it. Everybody. And it's all the same shit that they pull from IMDb. Even all the YouTubes that I watched, like I always watch a YouTube video or two and on movies so I can get a better grasp of what went behind the scenes. And I'm going to tell you, hi, Lament, how are you? The Monster Squad is a great film. Thanks, Feed. We're just going to bypass a lot of the stuff. So, what was I going to say? Fuck. Oh, how'd you like it, Helen? How'd you like it? Okay, so the 2 documentaries that I watched, and I want you guys to know about it in the event that you want to watch them for yourself, I am going to tell you to watch them. One is Monster Squad Forever, and I believe that was a 2007 release. You can catch it on like websites like upmovies.net, or even I couldn't find it on anywhere else, but I found it on like sites that are, you know, pop-ups all over the effing place. The second one you can watch on YouTube, and I'm gonna highly recommend them. It is the Monster Squad and Wolfman Got Nards documentary 2018. Definitely check that out. I learned a lot of information, and a lot of what I'm going to talk about when we get into CCOH is what I actually pulled from these documentaries. Quite a few Quite a few, not a little bit, a few of the items that I am going to talk about, I did pull from IMDb and a few other sites, but the majority of my research came from those two documentaries, and I was blown away by some of the information. I'm really excited. Hi, James, how are you? Yeah, you love that. Pop-ups all over the place. I know, it sucks. Watched Wolfman Got Nards on Tubi. Very awesome. Yeah, it's the documentary from 2018. Unfortunately, not in my country. It wasn't on Tubi. How are you doing, Lament? How are the fur babies doing? Glad to be home. I bet. And it's so nice that you have a bunch of time to fucking relax, James. That's great. That's really great. How's everybody's Sunday going? I've got some fun stuff over the weekend. One of Heavy's friends, who's starting his own little business, brought me a couple really cool horror-related items, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. I can't show it to you right now, but I can't wait to show them to you guys. I think y'all will love it. Also, after this, I have to do my unboxing video for the Elgato teleprompter that I got, thanks to Devil, She-Kratos, and Serial Killer. So we'll be doing that after stream today. But before we get into CCOH, guys, we are going to do a tarot card reading. Fur babies are doing well. I'm still recovering from Friday. We're watching Eyes of Fire. Ooh, that's nice. I did give Reaper, Lament, I know you recommended a couple of movies for Coffee Chat of Horrors, as well as other people. I did give them to Reaper in a notepad, and Reaper made a content calendar. So the movies that you recommended will be coming up on a CCOH very soon. The recent Got Nards doc one is great. Is that the Monster Squad and Wolfman Got Nards documentary? The one that I watched was the Monster Squad and Wolfman Got Nards. Is about an hour 30 or so of awesome documentary, just seeing everybody except for obviously Horace, because he passed away. But I did find out what he passed away of and how he passed away. Regal. Critters, I don't know, Helen. I haven't seen any concrete evidence that it's being rebooted. I would love to see another chapter in the Kreitz saga, because I fucking love the Kreitz. Eyes of Fire is awesome, feed me. Hi, Dell, how are you? I need this to take my mind off today. Someone hacked into my account and spent 150 feed. That sucks. I hope you get it back, and I hope you can put your accounts on lockdown. I don't know if you have access to it, but I use 2auth. So it's basically a 2 authentication. I can't say that word. Basically, it's a 2-step authorization that I use on everything, literally everything. My YouTube, my Twitch, all of my stuff has 2auth. And if someone tries to get into it, whether or not they know my password, they have to be given that number that gets texted to my cell phone. So nobody's getting that shit. Edward Scissorhands, is it? We don't need to be doing that. I don't understand why we rebooting it. Hi, Kratos, darling. We literally just finished Cannibal Holocaust 1 minute ago. Awesome. What did you guys think of it? You guys watched the edited version, right? Make sure you watch the edited version, not the unedited version. My account is definitely closed. No worries, but make sure you get 2auth on that when you reopen up your account. And I suggest that for everybody. Trash is out. Now it's time to relax. Right on. Right on. I would definitely suggest that for everybody. Your 2auth, it saves you the headache of having to go through that bullshit. Reaper, I have a work list I was hoping to work on this week, but I had other projects need finishing. I'm hoping to take 2 days and blitz the work list. Reaper, do whatever you got to do, my friend. The next couple of Coffee Chat of Horrors is going to be up in the air. I can't talk about that. What's not bad? Cannibal Holocaust? Hey, Devil, how are you? Late night. Oh, I saw Late Night with the Devil. I fucking loved it. Hi, Ken. How are you? Hello, all from Critter Nards. Oh my god, I wonder what Critter Nards looks like, right? Welcome, Combat. Thank you for the follow. Oh, by the way, offline follows Eldritch and Final 79. Thank you so much, and Highland Hero for the offline follows yesterday. I do appreciate it. The Lost Boys is being rebooted. Nice. Thank you. We're gonna do a tarot card reading. I'm here, devil. I still have to do my unboxing video. I received the teleprompter that you, Serial, and Kratos helped me obtain. I received the stand for it as well. I just haven't been able to do the unboxing. Thank you. I appreciate it, Reaper. Kratos, I'll message you later. Or if you want, just go into the Discord announcements and scroll up a couple of days. I don't know if I said this already, but I want to thank you all for being such a wonderful place and giving me somewhere to distress and help remember who I am. That's what friends are for. That's what a community is for. Well, that's what the Horde is for. I mean, come on. We got to have an awesome place to be. And I'm glad you all make that place so awesome that people feel so comfortable to come in here and hang out. Macabre I am. Does everything really need to be rebooted? No, Del, they don't. Nothing needs to be fucking rebooted. All right, let's see. What does Sunday have to say for us for tarot cards? And then we're going to head into some coffee chat of horrors. We're going to ask the cards what's in store for this week. And we're going to see what's in store for this week. All right. So, unfortunately, you are seeing the situation accurately. For those of you going around and doing some shit, you are seeing the situation accurately. Yes, I know. Sometimes we don't want to see it. Sometimes we don't believe what we're seeing. Sometimes it's good. I don't believe what I'm seeing here. And other times it's pretty bad. However, whichever one you fall in that category, you're seeing it accurately. So stop trying to look for other things, okay? It's right there in front of your face. Stop trying to build off of it. You're seeing it. Plain thing right there. I hate it here. I'm just here for the titty streams. No worries. It's all good, Kratos. I seen an announcement yesterday for a new movie in a series you've watched, but this old lady's mind can't remember at the moment. Oh, you seen an announcement for a movie series, a new movie in a series you watched. Oh, I'm going to have to think about it. Hi, Ed. I'm sorry. Didn't work from disconnecting on chat. Well, it's all good. No worries. No problems here, Don. More than welcome to watch on YouTube as well, because we are live over there. Hi, Snowflake. How are you? I mean, Sam Wolf. Fuck, Snowflake. Sam, how are you? Ignore my eyes. I read your name wrong. Two of Swords pop up. I'm freak out. Was watching the Fun Pips video about the road to Exodus, and the devs clearly was reading from a poorly placed teleprompter. Thought ReAnimateHer will do so much better when hers arise. Exactly, Deadwalk. I'm so excited. I didn't mean Snowflake. Sam Wolf. Don't ask why I read and my brain said Snowflake. I truly apologize. I am very sorry. I didn't mean to. Sam Wolf. There's something with the S and the wolf that made me think of snowflakes. So I apologize. I know she will. I fucking love it so much. I want to do an unboxing video thanking you guys for helping me obtain it. I also want to show it to you guys before I use it. And then I'm going to do a video, same video. I'm going to edit it and actually use it to show you guys what it's all about. So it's going to be a little bit of a thank you, unboxing, review, and showing you what it's all about. So I'm excited to do that. Hopefully it's today if I can stop these eyes from leaking. These fucking eyeballs are pissing me off. You're a snowflake because you're one of a kind. Snowflakes are one of a kind. You're doing good, Sam. I'm glad you're doing well. Moon over Miami, how are you? The next card dropping is Open Your Heart to Love. Some of you are struggling with some things more primarily to do with, love or being loved. Some of you are on the hunt or on the prowl to find that love. However, you're not getting where you want to be, and that's because you still have walls. You're still afraid to let somebody in. I know letting people in is quite fucking scary. I know. Letting new people into my life is scary myself, and that's not on a romantic level. That's just on a friendship level. So make sure, well, damn Ra, on the nail, you bitch. I'm sorry. Just open your heart. You have to. If we keep our hearts guarded all the time, we're never going to be able to find what we need, right? So let it down a little bit. Work on it. You're good. Awesome, Moon. Slap some mortar in between. No, she Kratos. No, I missed what you said. Did you guys enjoy Cannibal Holocaust? What did Basement Cat think? I'll be there on Monday and Friday, YouTube side of things, and also we'll be here on Twitch. Whatever makes you happy, Ed. I relearned that we all need to learn and relearn to love ourselves. I have no one in my life. I hate everyone, and I don't want any friends. You sound like me. Priorities. We all have some stuff to get done. I know some of us are feeling anxious and overwhelmed because we have so many things going on that you just sit there because you're just like, I don't know where to start. You just sit there and you're just like, you have everything there that you need to get done. It could be 5 to 100 things that you need to get done, but you just don't know where to start because you're fucking overwhelmed. And so you just sit there and then you beat yourself up for just sitting there because you don't know which way to go. Prioritize. Prioritizing is going to be your best friend. What is the most important that has to get done? What is the least important that has to get done? And work on one of them. Wait, you didn't hear that. Can you do your thing again, Riggs? I turned it on. Do your thing again. You can do your BTC and you'll hear it. I have that muted, so I heard it. I'm the only one who heard it when you did it because I still have all those sounds on for me, but however, for you guys, it's muted. I seen some for Demons going to Netflix right on, and Ross says that while my damn calendar is open. You loved Cannibal Holocaust feed. Not something I can rewatch, but I got a lot of respect for it. Nice. Moon, I hope your workday is going well. I think she needed to brush her teeth and think about it. I think we both were expecting 10 times more brutality, but we both were like, fuck, being a woman always fucking sucks ass. Yes. And the reason why you were probably expecting more is if you watch the edited version is literally edited to fuck. The unedited version is not. And that is where you're going to get your brutality because it is a brutal film. I watched a movie called Strays. Oh my God, Strays is so fucking awesome. Heavy and I watched it, and then Chico and I watched it. It is some funny shit. I love that movie. It's Strays. It's about a bunch of puppy dogs on the street. It's adorable. Zach, good morning. I needed that laugh, Raw. Thanks. Work weekend here sucks major ass. Ooh, that sucks, Riggs. I needed a laugh as well. I smiled when I was on my way home from Goodwill and getting breakfast. The gun show. Oh, yeah. Who doesn't like Welcome to the Gun Show? Yeah, the people made it out to be way worse than it is. Yeah, it depends on who you talk to. I personally, it is pretty disturbing. It is pretty disturbing. I know what made me call you Snowflake now, Sam. The S, the W, and then the F42AK. So that right there, that's made me think of Snowflake. I laughed that he bit the cock. The female shit is always the worst for me. Makes me so... Yeah, the animal stuff in there too, she Kratos, is pretty horrendous. The unedited version is hard to watch. It is hard to watch. You haven't seen it, Del? I would recommend it. I would recommend the edited version for those of you that get triggered by animal deaths, some certain parts of SA. And I say that because in the edited version, a lot of that stuff is cut out except for a couple of things. And the animal deaths are completely removed from the movie. Some people's biggest gripe was the animal deaths, which is completely understandable. And so they'll never watch the movie again. However, there is an edited version, so you kind of lose all of that. And you're able just to watch the movie for what it is. The movie has a really great message in it. If you don't know the message, rewatch the movie and watch the logo in the beginning of the truck and watch the destruction of the rainforest and the forest and the tribe and civilization and the environment. Rewatch it, as well as animal abuse. Green Inferno was meh. Green Inferno was... It's Eli Roth's version of Cannibal Holocaust, and the original title for Cannibal Holocaust was Green Inferno, but they didn't think that Green Inferno was going to get across to anybody, so they changed it to Cannibal Holocaust, and then Eli Roth came out, and he's like, I'm going to make the best movie ever, it's going to be better than Cannibal Holocaust, it's going to be blah, 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 right? And so he did. He came out with his Green Inferno, which is a soft, literally soft version of Cannibal Holocaust. It's so soft that, yeah, it's just soft. It's super soft. It doesn't even have the same fucking level as Cannibal Holocaust does. Green Inferno is great. Eli has always expressed his love. Oh yeah, I know. But when he was creating it, he was like, it was going to be better than Cannibal Holocaust. Yada yada yada. Reegs, enjoy your lurk, hon. I love Cannibal Holocaust. I've seen it. I can't even tell you how many times because that's how many times I've watched it. Exactly. You ain't beating the original. I don't give a fuck what you make. Enjoy your lurk, miss. How soft is it? It's soft. I was going to say something, but we'll just say it's softer than Wonder Bread. Green Inferno is but I love the look of the film. No, of course. I will say where films have more realistic gore, though, there are some mischief maker, great minds think alike. There is some good gore in Green Inferno. There is. Not gonna lie about that one. There is some good gore in it. But it does not beat Cannibal Holocaust. All right, it's flaccid like monkeys cock around naked chicks. Oh my lord, where is Monkey? Cannibal Hollywood Holocaust. Interesting. Well, Hollywood does eat each other, right? Definitely watch Late Night with the Devil, guys. I watched it yesterday. I thought it was great. I will be watching it again soon. When are we getting a new Jason movie? When all of the red tape gets settled. Sean Cunningham has teased a couple of times about doing a Friday the 13th movie, but there's also a lot of red tape in the movie side of things because you have different production companies that also have their hands in it. Besides Horror Inc., you have New Line Cinemas. There's a whole bunch of hands in the pot right now. So that's why we're only getting a new TV series, because the rules and regulations that are in TV series compared to movies is completely different. So that's why we're getting Friday the 13th, the prequel, Camp Crystal Lake prequel, is because it's not as so much red tape than the movies do. You do need to see it, Kratos. It is on Shudder. If you need it, let me know. I'll just give you my password. I finally decided I'm going to watch Abigail and First Omen. Nice. I loved the First Omen. I want to see Abigail. Loved Late Night. Nailed the whole cheese. It nailed the 70s with perfection. It really did. It's called Crystal Lake. It's the prequel. All right, guys. Oh, did I open up my shit balls? I don't even know if I did it, but yes. Anyways, let's get into Coffee Chat of Horrors.
Like scary movies and coffee.
The following show is based on research on horror movies and what goes on behind the scenes of your favorite scary movies. Horde Entertainment or ReAnimateHer is not responsible for the macabre and horror that you are about to witness. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah. There's that disclaimer there. Silly little disclaimer. I feel like I watched Green Inferno was the first movie I watched on Prime Video 11 years ago. This is my movie right here, yeah, this is way better than Goonies, guys. Good morning, my daywalkers. I am ReAnimateHer, your queen of horror, and this is Coffee Chat of Horrors, the only horror show that takes its coffee like it's magic, and that is definitely black, 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 black. Today's screams are coming from the warped mind, fun and warped mind of Fred Dekker and Shane Black, which is directed by Fred Dekker, The Monster Squad from 1987. So buckle up those asses, ghouls, as we traverse the realms that nightmares are made of. Now, for those of you that haven't seen Monster Squad, this is going to be a huge spoiler alert. I don't know if anybody has not seen The Monster Squad, and if you are sitting here today saying, I've never seen The Monster Squad, please go out and watch it. You won't regret it. This was a staple of my childhood. I remember seeing it in theaters. This was a huge, huge thing, even though it tanked at the box office. And it really did. Megan Ferox. Oh my God. Wait, Magna Ferox. I thought it was Megan. You ever heard of the movie Cannibal Ferox? Anyways, I know, off track. But definitely watch it if you haven't seen it. And we're going to have an incoming ad break in about a minute. So we're going to talk about where I seen and got most of my information from this week. So I watched 2 documentaries this week, and most of my information is from both of those documentaries. The first one is Monster Squad Forever. I believe it was released in 2007. And then the Monster Squad and Wolfman Got Nards documentary from 2018. The Wolfman Got Nards documentary, the Monster Squad and Wolfman Got Nards, is on YouTube. You are able to check it out if you want, and I can always get the link and put it in my Discord if you are wanting it, or afterwards in the YouTube video description if you're watching this by VOD. You own the Monster Squad? Nice. I need to get the Monster Squad on VHS. I'm afraid of how much it'll cost. You might get lucky. Is there a Monster Squad from... No, Ed, we're going to dive into that. You just keep your question there about the Monster Squad TV series from the 70s. I have some information for you on that. This is a movie I always suggest when people ask about introducing kids to horror. Exactly, macabre. Exactly. He did. Monster Squad so bad it's good. Yeah, Wolfman Got Nards. That is like the most famous tagline ever. Everybody knows it. Wolfman's Got Nards. Everybody knows it if you've seen it. And even if you didn't see it, it was used very highly in the 90s in some TV sitcoms. It's been used in some movies as well. And if you've never seen it, Night of the Creeps also has a couple of cool little homages, homage, whatever you want to call it, to the Monster Squad. Funny, when I saw all these movies as a kid, I assumed they were all hits. Hard to believe they tanked at the box office. Right? Okay, we've got an ad over on the Twitch side of things, so I do apologize about this ad. It's running. We'll get back into our discussion in just a moment. Kids nowadays couldn't handle this movie. It would trigger the little fuckers. Yes. So this film is not PC. It's not... If you get upset over words, well, that's a you problem. This movie does have lingo from the era, which is the 80s, before everyone became so upset about words. This movie was set in a different time. So if you've never seen it and you go and watch it and there's a couple of words in it, or a couple of things you don't like, don't lose your shit over it. It's still a good movie. You just kind of remember that time and place and that era is totally different than 2024. Basement Cat, how are you, darling? How are you? You know, Monster Squad has influenced my own life because I have what I call the murder basement. Many of us horror fans have a man cave, woman den, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I really don't care what you call it. Mine's called a murder basement. And this is my clubhouse. This is where I hang out and discuss horror. It's where I read my comic books. It's where Chico and I cuddle on the couch and we watch movies down here. I hang out down here. I have, well, I don't have any friends that come over because we all live so far apart. This would be where we would hang out, right? This was a big influence for me because I had my own little crew of hooligans, which were my cousins that I grew up with, and we had our own little, clubhouse. It was a lot of fun. And this movie, like I said, if you've watched it back in the day, it's influenced many of us in everything that we do. I got to get my dungeon going. Nice. Movie represents the time it was filmed. It definitely does, Feed. Funny, when I saw all these movies, I know, right? You're thinking, oh my God, this movie's got to be a effing hit, right? They definitely wouldn't make Monster Squad with that language today. No, half of the shit would not be in it. Yeah, friends. Ew. Would like to see a new mummy movie, but an actual horror mummy flick. That would be quite cool. Yeah, that would be quite cool. So Monster Squad was directed by Fred Dekker, and it was written by Fred Dekker and Shane Black. They were the two minds that created the Monster Squad. The budget for this film was $12 million US. The box office, 3.8 mil. So yes, this took a hit. Now, there is speculation as to why this took a hit. Because, and again, speculation, nothing concrete. Some say it was the marketing. Some say, well, Lost Boys came out 2 weeks before and Lost Boys killed it at the box. Killed it at the box office. And it was still in theaters when Monster Squad came out. The Lost Boys was still killing it. So it's really hard to release a film in the shadow of a horror vampire movie that created such a big fucking splash. Because let's get real. The Lost Boys is an epic movie of its time, and it is a classic film. It literally destroyed the box office, okay? For a horror movie. And no, it wasn't a huge, wide release either. Every time I saw the store Menards, I always think about this movie, right? Menards. I get it. Definitely, Neo. How are you today? Ouch. They had to have made up that in video rentals. That is what the whole thing about VHS brought a lot of money in and a lot of fans in, because even the younger generation, the 90s babies, were now watching the Monster Squad because it was rental on VHS. Now, we're going to get into some of the marketing and some of the other cool stuff that I did find out. But before we dive into that, guys, I'm going to give you the plot and we're going to go watch the friggin' trailer. So a group of young kids who discover that their town is being terrorized by classic monsters such as Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, and the Wolfman. They must band together to defeat the creatures and save their own. All right, now we're going to get ready to go watch this trailer, which I fucking love the trailer too. I hope you guys can hear it. All right.
You know who to call when you have ghosts. But who do you call when you have monsters?
We're the Monster Squad. What's a squad? It's like Miami Vice, I think.
They're young and inexperienced.
Naughty virgin.
They're a bit disorganized.
Monsters are not real.
We don't know that, sir.
2,000-year-old dead guys do not get up and walk away by themselves.
But when strange things start happening in town...
There's a monster in my closet.
Ooh, look at that big, scary monster.
What's happening? You wait until the werewolf.
Silver bullet?
They're the only ones ready to do battle.
So he's out there and he's killing people. And if it's monsters, nobody's gonna do a thing about it but us.
Soon the creatures of the night shall rule the world.
Real monsters? Us? Midnight. In the world, remember? Maybe we can be like Mask Squad instead, you know? 2 mask bombs.
We got 1035. Sit back up. Hurry up.
Or Nature Squad. The book is right. Don't you see it's all true?
By midnight,
You got
They won't seem so young anymore. The Monster Squad.
Wolfman's gone mad.
And that is the trailer for the Monster Squad. Dahi, holy shitballs! Thank you for the 51-month resub. Holy fuck, thank you so very much. 51 months. Wow. I am very, very, very appreciative that you have been throwing your money at me for 51 friggin' months. That just blows my fucking mind. Thank you, Dahi. Thank you very much. Mwah. I appreciate it. I hope you're having a good day. That is the Monster Squad, guys. This movie is the fucking bomb. It is the best. Almost a deck of cards, right? Yeah. Do you have a copy of the video Andre Gower made for us? What do you mean, Serial? The Monster Squad is free on demand on Pluto TV. Nice. Right on. Thanks, Mischief Maker, for letting us know that. My son loved it when he was little. Yeah, it's great. Who doesn't love this movie, The Monster Squad? It's a great way to get your children into horror without, like, terrifying them or traumatizing them. I mean, granted, there are some scenes in this movie that were just like, oh, shit. Yes, the one I got him to make one for the team. I'm not too sure. Where did you put it? It's got to be in the drive or in the Discord. We'll have to look for it. I totally forgot about that. I loved watch this show so many times as a kid. I got in trouble at the sitters for going around saying Wolfman's got nards all the time. I know that was the thing from like the 80s into the 90s. Wolfman got nards, and even people were using the word and term nards all the time. That was a thing because the Monster Squad, right? The Monster Squad made it a thing. Not everybody was going around saying nards back then. I never heard it until the Monster Squad came out. Mind you, in 87, I was not an adult, so it is a great video. It's got to be either in the Discord, somewhere on my computer. You must have the original, or on the Google Drive. It started a trend. We used balls here until that movie came out. Yeah, we did. Everybody used balls. You talk about balls, everybody used balls. Nobody said testicles unless you were in like school and they were doing sex ed and they called them testicles. But yeah, once the Monster Squad came out, everybody was using all the kids were using the term nards, 100%. And it's because of that movie that's the term we have today. And we still use it today, especially those of us in the 80s, from the 80s. Okay, taglines. And I love this tagline. You know who to call when you have ghosts, the Ghostbusters. But who do you call when you have monsters, right? The Monster Squad. So I loved how they used that tagline to kind of, throw a nod at Ghostbusters. You know who to call when you have ghosts. That was a really cool little nod there too, and just to throw out some respect. Ding Ding has replaced the nards for me. Could be, yeah. No, we never said nards before the movie came out. Yeah, I had never heard of it before that, right? And I grew up in the 80s. I went to school in the 80s, right? So that wasn't a term. And very clever. They had a really good marketing team. Just to me, like I said, there is speculation on why this movie bombed at the theaters. Critics did not like this movie. I don't understand. I honestly think a lot of critics back in the day just didn't understand horror or family type horror or anything under that umbrella. They were so hyped up on those romantic drama action films that everyone shat upon anything horror related or monster related. The critics did hurt this movie, I also think. Then I learned that from the documentary that I watched. I heard about what they said about the Monster Squad, and I was just like, the fuck? But again, marketing is always really a big role. And if there's a big movie coming out that made fucking waves like Lost Boys, it's kind of hard to get out of that shadow, especially at the box office. They did Macabre, and those two can go fuck themselves. But me and my son are both big Godzilla fans, but I got him into horror early. He watched Lost Boys before this one, and he wanted to watch more horror. He was about 6 or 7 when we watched it. Nice. That's awesome, Neo. That's great. I love monster movies. I consider Godzilla a monster, so I consider him part of Creature Features, right? And Creature Features was a huge thing in the 80s. They had a lot of Creature Features. They would play a lot of the old classic monsters and back on TV when I was young. Now they don't, but... And Joe Bob is amazing. Joe Bob Briggs, who doesn't love The Last Drive-In? All right. Now, did you guys know that there was an original title to the Monster Squad? I think critics back then definitely they didn't get horror at all, and especially comedy horror, Dahi. I completely agree with you. You can watch and download the Monster Squad from the Internet Archive, link in your Discord. Thank you, Reaper. Found it, sent it to friends. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Stereo. I'm going to show you guys a video so I'm on a team. My team is kind of in the crypt right now. There's very few of us. I made a team here on Twitch. We are called the Monster Squad. I might bring it back, but only for a few of us that are on the team and nobody more. Good morning, Ace. How are you? You wonderful person. I hope you're well. I nearly got flattened by an Amazon driver before because sidewalks. What? Oh my God. I'm glad you didn't, Ace. I'm okay. Hey, Sailor darling. I wonder, Monster Squad on Tubi? There could be. I don't know. It's not here on my Tubi. He's being dramatic. The main reason why I still watch Svengoolie, I love Svengoolie on MeTV, is that they still show the old Universal monster movies 100%. Definitely. Good morning, everybody. Good evening as well, because some of you are in the UK. I'm going to go grab that video. And I'm going to show you guys that video if you just don't mind waiting a second. Are you popping it in, friends? Tell me when you pop it in there, and then I'll play it for everybody. I'll tell you, Ed, we're coming up to it. Calm yourself. We are coming up to it. It's right there. I'm looking at it. It's like the third one down, my third fact down. It should be there. It's in friends. I don't see it. Okay, maybe my Discord is the only thing I see is my last message at 6:52 yesterday to you. Let me go like this. I don't know. I don't see friends at all. The last message I see was at April 19th at 6:52. My message to you. And then I said Monkey didn't get it either. That was my last message. I don't see it. Unless Discord's having issues. Surprise, surprise, Discord's having issues. All right, so what's funny is my son, when little, was okay with horror icons, but he would scream and hide from the Easter... The Easter Bunny is scary! Do you blame him? Do you blame kids for crying at Santa and the Easter Bunny? Sailor, do you see it? Because that's a giant fucking bunny with 2 bunny teeth. I love you too. Thank you. I will play it right meow. Give me a second. Actually, let me download it because it's not going to play. So I'm going to download it. We're going to watch a video here in just a second. And the video is from the main character of the Monster Squad. Now, like I said, I had a team, a Twitch team. It's still there. My Twitch team is called the Monster Squad, based after the Monster Squad, because the team was made up of myself, serial killer, and a couple of other people. And we love the movie The Monster Squad. And so we named our team the Monster Squad. And right now the team is in hiatus. However, I have been really thinking about reopening it up, but just for a few people. And he got the shit kicked out of him in Mallrats. Andre Gower. Yes, Andre Gower. So let me open this up. Just got to give me a second here. And then I got to screen cap it for you. Actually, let's take the CCO H. Oh, there we go. And hopefully the sound will be in here as well. Hopefully you guys can be able to hear it. Nope.
We all know that Wolfman's got nards, but so do you.
Here. Did you hear that? I just want to see if you guys heard that little bit first before I finish playing it. Monkey, thank you for your 7-stream streak. Okay.
Hey guys, congratulations and welcome to the club. We all know that Wolfman's got nards, but so do you. So grab your stakes, your silver bullets, your bows and your shotguns, and let's show the streaming world what Monster Squad's all about. If we pull this off. Hey Ron, thanks for reaching out to me on Cameo. This is really rad. I know it's tough to be out there and connect and hang out with the people we want to these days. But all of that will start turning again soon, and we can go do all the things we want to do with the people we want to do it with. So, hey man, I just want to say thanks for reaching out and being supportive out there. You're part of a great big fan base, and certainly appreciate all of it, and just dig the continued support. So, thanks for being awesome and reaching out, and hope everybody's well in your side of the world, wherever you are, and keep rocking it strong, and we'll all get through this together and get to hang out soon. All right, man, take care.
Yeah, so that is the Monster Squad. Yeah, that was really cool. And a serial killer got that video done for the team, the Monster Squad. So thank you for that, Serial. That was pretty fucking awesome, though, by the way, right? I thought it was awesome. Sorry, you have to go. My day just got much worse. No worries, Feed. I hope you have a better afternoon. That movie, this movie that sparked my love for horror. Yeah, this movie did a lot for many of us in horror, honestly. It really did. And it's pretty cool. Okay, so the original title for the film was called The Monster Squad. And so the Monster Squad and the Ghoul School, that was the name of this movie beforehand. They decided to just go the Monster Squad just for simplicity. It just is easier, just the Monster Squad instead of the Monster Squad and the Ghoul School, Simplicity, the Monster Squad. Love that guy. I still think I should have been Sean. Actually, I was him as a kid. Yeah. A female version. I did a lot of loved my comics of my Fangoria, not my comics. Sorry. I loved my Fangoria, which was a bit different than the comics, but growing up, I always had Fangoria rolled up in the back pocket, which was always the easiest way to go because back in the day, Fangoria was made out of paper. And not what it is today. So you were able to roll it and just put it in your back pocket and just go everywhere you want with it. If you're at the playground and just whip it out and read it, right? So makes sense. And people would have probably shortened it to Monster Squad anyway. Exactly. I'm also driving though, and I have not to be a POS. So swinging canned goods is going to be difficult. But you're hotter. Ed, this is what you've been waiting for right here. So some of you may know the 1976 TV series, The Monster Squad. The movie has nothing to do with the TV series, The Monster Squad. They're not related in any which way, shape, or form. Now, if you don't know the Monster Squad from 1976, the Monster Squad is a TV series, and it was about wax figures of 3 monsters that came to life to battle evil. And it really did not make a big hit. It only had, I want to say 1 or 2 seasons. But yes, no, it had nothing to do with the 1987 The Monster Squad. They don't have any crossovers. There's nothing connecting them at all. I know some people were curious about that just because it's the Monster Squad, right? TV series. Yeah, I was wondering about the series. That's what popped up on Tubi, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. And I've seen The Monster Squad, the TV series from 1976. You can find it right now out there on the interwebs. My name, Cock Rifle, is Horace. I know, I can't say the word cocks without laughing. And I know what you mean. Cocking. Oh, God, that's a bad hand gesture when saying that word. Anyways, okay. Believe it or not, Fred Decker was rejected by both film schools he went to. So he applied to go to film school and he was rejected. You have the ability to clip it, monkey. Right there on the player or exclamation point clip. Right. The TV series has been only due about the movie from the fact that it's just the name that matches, right? That's it. Okay. Oh my God, I'm late. Don't worry, blood. Don't worry. Welcome. I hope you're having a great Sunday, my friend. We watched the trailer, so you missed that. We didn't get into too far into the nitty-gritty details, but I will repeat that I got most of my information from two documentaries. One was The Monster Squad Forever, and the other one is The Monster Squad Wolfman's Got Nards from 2018, which is out on YouTube, so you can watch it. So that's where a lot of this information is coming to you from. Very little is from the actual internet itself. I love when movies have documentaries about them because I pull so much stuff from them that the internet does not have. And they're only in these documentaries or director's commentaries. Most of the time, they don't get written on the internet, right? I was too slow trying not to spit out my coffee. Yeah, monkey. I can clip it after. Don't worry about it. Oh, definitely check in. Yeah, definitely check it out. It's a great documentary, and I pulled a lot of that stuff from the 2018 documentary, which was pretty cool. But definitely watch them. Okay. Fred Decker was rejected by both film schools. However, they accepted him into the curriculum, but not part of the film department. How do you not bring this guy in, you know? Anyways, according to Fred, all he wanted to do was hang out with friends and make movies. Instead, he ended up getting a bachelor's degree in English. Yeah. But he makes great movies. And Fred Decker himself states that The Monster Squad is the best movie he has ever made and a movie that hurt his career at the same time. But he doesn't regret making it. He learned a lot creating The Monster Squad, and it is his favorite movie of all time out of every movie he has made. And that came from the 2018 documentary. All right, monkey, love your guts. Have fun. Enjoy your foods. Fred was shooting Night of the Creeps, cult fucking classic. We dove into Night of the Creeps a couple of episodes back. You can check it out on YouTube if you want to know more about Night of the Creeps. However, in the bathroom, so there's a couple of Easter eggs or homages in the Night of the Creeps. There's a couple. And the first one is in the bathroom, the words "Go Monster Squad" is written in the stall. As well as in The Monster Squad, the quote is said, "Dead guys do not get up and walk away by themselves." That is a line that the cop says in The Monster Squad. Well, later on in Night of the Creeps, it's said again. And Night of the Creeps was 1986. So sorry, Night of the Creeps in 1986. So The Monster Squad was in the creation factor here before they filmed it. They paid a little bit of a homage to it in Night of the Creeps. So nobody knew The Monster Squad in 86 because it wasn't released to 87, but they knew about it. Shane Black and Fred Decker were the creators of it. And Fred directed Night of the Creeps, which is quite cool to see that they were already throwing in Easter eggs that nobody knew about. And you wouldn't have known unless you've seen Night of the Creeps first. But again, that was an R-rated movie. And in 1986, I did not see Night of the Creeps in the theaters. However, I did see Monster Squad. So if you're sitting there and you didn't see Night of the Creeps, you'd have no idea that those two terms that you hear in The Monster Squad were actually Easter eggs that they were throwing. for the Monster Squad. Oh, she likes my leather face in the back. Thanks. Rob, pass along to Monkey that I clipped it. Monkey, if you're hearing us, Macabre clipped it. My lord. The fuck? Why is my shit going off? Do you see that? My lights are going off. I don't know why. Did someone just follow me over on the YouTubes? Maybe. I don't know. Ghosts. Maybe. Who fucking knows? Let's see. We're going to get into some behind the scenes stuff. You seen that? Yeah, I don't know what the hell that is. Macabre, Dahi says,
she bitch.
Well done.
Let's go.
Hi, Katrine. I hope Katrine is doing well. It's in the Discord forever and ever. Awesome. Thank you, Macabre. I appreciate it. Okay. The creature designers had to work had a hard time. And all in all, the creature designers had a really hard time creating the monsters that you see in this movie because they could not do it. They did not have the licensing from Universal Studios, who created the Universal Monsters. As you know, that is copyright and that is owned by Universal. Welcome, Seasonal Secrets, to the crib. Thank you for the follow. So, some of the key differences between the Universal Monsters and the Monster Squad are Dracula had no Lugosi-esque widow's peak, which is a triangle that comes down here. They didn't have that. And Frankenstein's monster's neck bolts are at his temples and not on the side of his neck. Wolfman has pointy ears and a face that's more lupine than what the Universal Monsters Wolfman would have had. So those are the things that they did to tweak so they could get away with using Universal Monster kind of ripoffs. However, I really like Monster Squad's version of the Universal Monsters, even though they're not yet technically Universal Monsters. By the way, thank you, Seasonal Secrets, for flashing us them tiggle bitties. I greatly appreciate it. I have one, and so does Katrina. Yes, you do. I have one over here. So widow's peak. So a widow's peak is it's your hairline, right? It comes to a point, and as you can see here, I have one here, and it goes up like that. That is called a widow's peak. Now, when people play the role of Dracula, even as a kid in the 80s, they painted that on, right? A more defined look. There's a lot of people who have widow's peaks. If you want to see if you have a widow's peak, lift your hair up or put it to the side. You'll notice it. It might be a small one or it might not be. Furry, welcome to the crypt. Thank you for the follow. The Monster Squad creature is my fave. I got a thing for you. And I know Creature from the Black Lagoon is Serial Killer's favorite Universal Monsters. That's awesome. Hi, Hundar. I have one, Serial has one, Katrine has one. There's a few people I know that have widow's peaks seasonal, so that's awesome. Even Triangle Line always pointy. We're good. Oh, that's good. Thank you for subscribing, Shane. I sees you. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciates it. I'm going to text you later so we can change some things. But yeah, that is some really cool information there. So that's how they were able to get away without getting sued by Universal. Because Universal, they're touchy mofos, you know what I mean? They don't like anybody utilizing anything of theirs because, one, they're not getting money. Yep, we got an ad in progress over on the Twitch side of things, so we're going to squirrel. Even if I had a widow's peak, my ever-growing forehead would have eaten it by now. What's interesting is that I found Dracula in this movie more scary than Lugosi. Yes, and I've got some stuff on that too, Dahi. I do. When we come back from the ad break in 38 seconds and counting, I'll go on with Gilman. Yeah, Gilman from the Monster Squad. You had one, but you lost your hair? Bald is sexy, Moon. Bald is sexy. Don't let anybody tell you any different. That's why Heavy shaves his head all the fucking time. Yeah, only 2 seconds. Yeah, I have about 9 seconds left. that it says that it's welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. There we go. Ad is over. So the creature from the Black Lagoon is never mentioned by name by the characters. And again, when they were creating Gilman, they had to create it differently than the creature from the Black Lagoon. And he's never mentioned. Even the credits refer to him as Gilman. Gillman. Gilman. Because they could not obtain the rights to use the official character in time for shooting. And they probably wouldn't have been able to friggin' afford it. I heard, Helen, yeah, I shared that. Gilman. Yeah, that's how they got away with it. And I have a really cool tidbit of information for you later on when I get down to the practical effects. Here is a fun one for you. You want to know how the mummy got created? Yeah, this one, I really like this one. So the casting call for the mummy had a bizarre ad. It said, now I only got this from Michael Reed McKay. He played the mummy, and this was in an interview with Michael that he said this. So he said that mummies aren't, this is the ad, mummies aren't usually noted for their girth. Girth. Anyways, I have always been super skinny. One of his friends showed him the wanted ad, and the ad stated, looking for an extremely thin actor on the verge of anorexia. He headed straight to the studios. After he showed them some creepy gestures, he got the part of the mummy. Now that is a very weird ad. Looking for extremely thin actor on the verge of anorexia to play the role as the mummy in the Monster Squad. It's quite weird, huh? Right? Like, you see that and you're just like, huh? But he is super skinny. He was super skinny back then. And he was like, his friend showed him the ad. He's like, I got this shit. I got this. I'm a string bean. I guess they didn't want any confusion on how skinny. Most likely. When creatures come out of the pond and eats Eugene's Twinkie, Eugene says, creature took my Twinkie. It is definitely an awesome movie, guys. So many awesome memories. So that is a little bit of The Mummy. Now, the Monster Squad co-writer Shane Black initially wanted a far more overblown and expensive opening scene than the one that we received. He envisioned Van Helsing laying siege to Dracula's castle on a Zeppelin with machine guns. Racing out to meet him would be 40 vampire brides riding horses. Pretty fucking epic scene, don't you think? Decker quickly bursts Black's bubble and says, I said we can't make this. This is the first 5 minutes of the movie, and we would have to spend $100 million on the first 5 minutes of the movie. I thought that was hilarious. Hey, Devil, how did you try your camper yet? Tim Curry is 78. Danny Trejo is 79. Yeah, they're getting up there. Now I really want that. Right? Tell me that's not fucking epic right there. Tell me that's not epic. Like, could you just envision this right now? Van Helsing laying siege to Dracula's castle. He's on a Zeppelin. There's machine guns everywhere, shooting down. Right? That's going on. Coming out of the castle, racing on horseback, 40 vampire brides, you know, coming down. Just an epic fucking battle to like just battle it out to the death. That would have been a really epic opening scene for the Monster Squad. I thought that would be really cool. Probably very, very expensive, like Fred Decker said. Not yet, Rob, but there is a lot of reserves for the, oh, nice. A lot of reservations happening for that camper. That's awesome. If I ever got married, that's exactly how I want to be brought in, is Zeppelin vampire brides. Let's go. That would be a pretty epic way to come into your wedding. Now, here's a piece of information. Nah, just sub in Plastic Vampire Bride like Army of Darkness. Oh my God, I love Army of Darkness's cheese, though. That would be pretty funny. If you haven't seen, again, the Monster Squad, guys, this is going to have some spoilers in it. I'm going to tell you to definitely go and see it, go and watch it. If you're just joining us for Coffee Chat of Horrors, I am ReAnimateHer, and we are deep diving into the Monster Squad. We do this every Sunday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. We deep dive into your favorite scary movies, and I do put this episode on YouTube, so if there are episodes that you've missed because you just found this channel, you can check out my YouTube channel. Everything has a playlist for you, and you are able to catch all of the previous CCOHs. We've been doing CCOH now for, it's evolved, but we've been doing it for about 6 years. And it has evolved quite a bit from when I first started to now. Here's a really cool tidbit of information. Duncan Redger. Okay, he played Dracula. Do you know that he beat out Liam Neeson for the role of Dracula? In 1986, Liam Neeson was still an unknown actor, fighting his way through the trenches just like everybody else at that time. He nailed his part as Dracula, and they thought Neeson was their guy. However, Duncan Redger comes in and fucking annihilates what he did. And he came in, not only did he kill the part of Dracula, he was so terrifying on top of that about, was it 20, 40, anywhere between 20 to 40 years later, Wizard Magazine named Redger the greatest Dracula of all time. You know what? Don't get me wrong. I love Liam Neeson. I love him in his horror comedies because I'm dead and loving it. Dead and loving it. Look at that one right there. You know? Yes. Duncan. Liam Neeson would have been good. Yeah, but Duncan was fab. Duncan brought something that Liam did not have with his role. And, you know, the production, the whole casting crew loved Liam Neeson. They thought he did a fabulous job. They thought this was their Dracula. Again, Duncan came in there and he is like, kabow. And there he is. He brought a terrifying role to Dracula, and that's what they wanted. And I'm glad that they picked Duncan Redger as it as well. I thought he played a superb Dracula. He was scary, but without being too over the top scary. Yes, Dracula in Monster Squad is definitely scarier looking, and his body motions than Bela Lugosi's Dracula. But you got to remember, a different time, different era. Even the scary monsters of Universal Monsters happened during the Depression era, right? And they weren't overly scary. They were, you know, spooky looking, but not scary. And at that time back then, that was still a huge taboo, was horror, right? Yeah. It is insane, right? Yeah, I agree. Duncan Redger was the correct guy for Dracula. I love Liam Neeson. May he rest in peace. I love him. I think he's an amazing actor, and he does so great in horror. He had nards. Now I needed a Renfield too with Liam Neeson. Oh God, that would have been great. I definitely found Duncan's Dracula more menacing looking than Lugosi on every level. He had red eyes. The way his face was like chiseled and colored with the makeup that they utilized for Duncan Redger was scarier. What they did with makeup literally blew Lugosi's makeup out of the water. I mean, yes, okay, Lugosi is our very first Dracula. Well, depending on where you come from. So, yeah, I would agree with you, Dahi. Definitely. He's definitely more scary or more terrifying looking than Lugosi's Dracula. I love Lugosi, but as a kid, I wasn't frightened by him. No, not at all. I mean, I let my spawns watch the Universal Monsters because for that reason, they're not scary, right? They're not scary. It just gives them that spooky feeling, right? That's like, ooh, it's spooky, not terrifying, because you don't want to traumatize your small spawns. Very intense. And what made Lugosi intense was the way they shined the light on his eyes. You guys remember in Dracula, there were scenes where that strip of light, they do it to Morticia Addams in the Addams Family, and in the newer movie, The Addams Family. They also did it for Lily Munster. Not as much, though. And when they do that, the eyes kind of just look more intense. And Lugosi utilized his emotions in his face and primarily his eyes to try to get across a scary, unsettled feeling. However, Duncan Redger's team did makeup to make it that way, right? Red contacts, sharper fangs, the way they contoured his face. You know what other movie Lugosi's eyes were so intense? White Zombie. Yes, but I think that's why people brought Lugosi in, because he was able to show that intense and that kind of spookiness through his eyes. I thought he was really good at that. The first was Nax from the Silent Dracula. 1921-22 Nosferatu, which was a silent Dracula from Germany, which was also done during Germany's Depression. A lot of monster movies and vampire films, Helen, come out of hardships. In 1921, 1922, when they created Nosferatu, again, it's a German silent vampire film. And there's actually one before that, even before that. However, when you're watching in the 1930s, 1940s, 1950s, a lot of people were seeing Bela Lugosi. So that is why I say, for wherever you are in the world, your first vampire would have been Lugosi, depending on where you are in the world. All right? Now, you got to remember, back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and part of the 90s, there was no internet. There was also no international television either. You had 6 channels, 3 channels starting out, 6 channels if you were lucky, and later on, down in the 80s, 16 channels if you had money. So you got to remember, when you see your first vampire, you're probably seeing Lugosi. And if you're in the UK, you have probably seen Christopher Lee. So depending on where you are in the world, your first Dracula could be totally different than my first time seeing Dracula, right? Just depends on what part of the world you were in at the time that you've seen it. And again, anything before the 1995 mark, you didn't see on the internet, because the internet did not exist. The internet did not exist. Most magazines did not travel the world and bring you news from Germany or the UK or the French. Fangoria magazine was United States, primarily United States. I found my monsters in the library in black and white books. Exactly. That's where a lot of us found our monsters first and foremost, was in books. UHF, yes, definitely macabre. Back when everyone had their own Saturday morning clown and Saturday night horror host. Yeah, we all did. But I think Duncan was the first vampire that I remember being like, oh no, you don't mess with that dude. Yeah, right? Oh God, I don't know if that was my first vampire, to be honest with you. Oh Lord, I'm going to have to go back. Sir Christopher Lee was an absolute legend. Oh yes, may he rest in peace. Hammer horror is amazing. Amazing. And they really didn't show a lot of that in the United States. I grew up as a kid in the US, and we did get Hammer horror, but not on a regular basis like Universal Monsters. You have all Dracula movie collection. Nice, Helen. We need a squirrel emote. We definitely do. Vincent Price. I love Vincent Price. He was a great horror host and actor. Hammer horror is hard to find. It really is. But in the UK, it's not, because that's where it's from, right? Not a cool thing. And Hammer horror, in all, Hammer horror is more aggressive than the Universal Monsters, plain and simple. When I introduced my spawns when they were little, I introduced them to Universal Monsters. Hammer horror had more of a tense sexual appeal as well. And when I say sexual appeal, the sexiness of the ladies in Hammer horror, the way they dressed, the way they moved, the passion that, just spewed from Sir Christopher Lee in these films. Definitely on a different level than Bela Lugosi and the rest of the team for Universal Monsters. That's just in my opinion. That's my opinion. Again, everybody has their own opinion, but for me, I always tend to see Hammer Horror a little bit higher up as than the Universals. I see more sex appeal, more passion in that level, you know. And Christopher Lee played a sexy vampire. I mean, he's played a lot of roles. Again, that's just my fucking opinion. All right. The Wolfman was played by Jonathan Gries. Yeah, just figured to tell you guys that there's not a whole hell of a lot about the Wolfman. The Wolfman, like I said, that makes him different. He looks more lichen-like and more dog-like than the original. And he had pointy ears. So the next time you watch Monster Squad, keep an eye out for the differences between Frankenstein's monster and the Universal Frankenstein's monster, Dracula and Wolfman and Creature from the Black Lagoon and the Mummy. Right, Wilson? That's how our dad did it too. He introduced us to Universal Monsters before anything else. So I watched those before the Monster Squad. That's the right way to do it, Dahi. Definitely. I loved how they made the Wolfman in this movie. Me too. This Wolfman was scary. However, I did see American Werewolf in London, and that werewolf scared the ever-living shit out of me. Pow Speedo, welcome to the crypt. Thank you for the follow. My grandma has a painting and her uncle was supposed to show Vincent Price the painting. Wolfman had a super interesting looking face. Yes, they did that so they could not get in trouble by Universal Monsters. Did you miss that? Oh, Blood, you may have missed that. Let me roll back. Let's rewind just a tidbit. So the creature designs were really hard for the crew to create because they were going to get in trouble by Universal Studios, who owned the Universal Monsters. And so they had to do this in a way where they wouldn't get in trouble because they did not have permission or licensing for the Universal Monsters. So they designed these guys a little different to get away from the copyright. For example, Dracula had no Lugosi-esque widow's peak. Frankenstein's monster had neck bolts on his temples and not his neck. And Wolfman, he had pointy ears and looked more lupine than Wolfman from Universal Monsters. So that was how they were able to get away without getting copyright infringement from Universal. Same thing with Gilman. You know, the Creature from the Black Lagoon. They had to change him a little bit, and he could never be contacted as the creature from the Black Lagoon. He had to be called Gilman, and in the credits, he is credited as Gilman, Gillman. I thought that was really cool on how they got around that whole, copyright. But that was a little rewind. And yes, he had nards, definitely. Yeah, it's great that they added that in there. Of course, Blood, of course. I thought that was a really cool... I didn't know that until I was doing my friggin' research. And then I'm like, oh, that's fucking awesome. I have to put that down in my research, right? Gilman sounds like someone who would have fought Godzilla back in the day. Gilman sounds like a pharmacist. Right? Okay, Ashley Bank. She was the little girl who played Phoebe. She turned down the role in Fatal Attraction to play 5-year-old Phoebe. And at the time, she didn't realize what she was really picking. It came down to one was being filmed in New York and the other one was being filmed in LA. And at that time, it was easier to do the one that was filmed locally to her, which was The Monster Squad. I had no idea either. I thought visual changes were just a creative choice, a personal choice. That's what I thought as well. Look, the more you know, right? Where's that fucking rainbow and the goddamn star, right? The more you know. But yeah, I didn't realize it had to do with licensing issues. Nobody does. Give the amulet, you bitch. Yes, I have a bit of information on that as well. You met Ashley at Monster Mania. She was so nice. The whole team from the Monster Squad, everybody has been really awesome. I watched that 2018 documentary. Yeah, definitely go and watch it if you haven't seen it. There's a documentary called The Monster Squad and Wolfman Has Nards. It's together. It's one documentary, 2018. You can find it on YouTube. If you missed that part. There's also a documentary called The Monster Squad Forever, 2007, I believe that's the release date. Go watch that one as well. They're both really good. Okay, the legendary Stan Winston. If you I know I'm gonna run over. My God, Jesus Christ! All right, I'm gonna run over CCOH, guys. It's already 17 afternoon. Stan Winston, he's a legend, a friggin' legend in the special effects area. He did the special effects for the Monster Squad, and the Wolfman's face is modeled after Stan Winston. Stan Winston's face is literally the model for the Wolfman. Yeah, that's pretty cool too. I thought that was pretty cool information there. Andrew Gower directed Wolfman Got Nards. Yes, I watched the whole thing, and it's definitely really good. It's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go a little over, guys. There was some real pain on set. Yeah, there was some real pain on set. Let's switch to this slide here. So Tom Woodruff Jr. always wanted to be a monster in a guy in a monster suit. And he did get his wish in the Monster Squad. He was the creature Gilman. All of the weapons for the whole film were soft weapons, but on the inside, they were hard. They were hard plastic on the inside and soft on the outside, so that when getting hit by these things, it wouldn't hurt, right? Well, you would think it wouldn't hurt. However, Tom was in the Gilman suit and he's fighting the kids, right? There's scenes where he's getting hit with things, and he actually had to stop and say, guys, you got to take it easy. According to Matt Rose, the sculptor, he notes that about 25 minutes into the fight, Woodruff is wincing with every strike that they hit him. He actually had to stop and ask everyone to take it easy because he was feeling those hits, even in the suit that he was wearing. And with all the foam and softness, he was still feeling them wailing on him, which was kind of ouchies. Hi, Dante. Another little tidbit of information of pain. Woodruff, in the Gilman costume, really had limited vision. He couldn't see, he had a hard time seeing in the suit, and there was a stuntman in the wrong place. You know, he was set up in the wrong area, and when Woodruff was fighting, he threw a punch and slugged him in the face. This stuntman was a pretty big stuntman, and he fell. Bam, knocked his ass out onto the ground. Of course, the scene was stopped. They yelled cut. When they picked the stuntman up, he was bleeding from both nostrils and his nose, and it was just like, holy shit. So those are the two instances on the set where they came with some pain. Hi, Wickedy, how are you? Nature used the blood or isn't real about a movie instead of real blood like a vampire. Yeah, I'm sure that couldn't have felt good scene after scene with retakes. No, it couldn't have been. That couldn't have felt that good, you know. Now, to get more realness of the kids' reactions. So the kids' reactions through this film, to get a more genuine reaction from them, the kids had no idea what was really going to happen when they met up with the monsters. They weren't given that in the script, which was really good because it came out with, it worked out in the end because it had, you were able to get some really good reactions from the children. And I'm going to go over some of them with you right now. So one of the first things here is Dracula and Frankenstein's monster never broke character in front of the kids. Tom Noonan, he played Frankenstein's monster, would make a point never to greet or talk to the kids. If the kids talked to him, he grunted, just like the monster does in the movie. And he did that to keep that tension and that scare factor to these kids. These kids were really young kids at the time. And seeing this guy in a suit, they're never seeing the human side of the guy. They've always seen the monster, right? So that gives it a little bit of realism. And the same thing with Dracula. He did the same thing, Redga. Redga stayed in character and in costume the entire time. He wanted a genuine scare out of Phoebe, played by Ashley Bank. So he made sure that she never seen his vampire teeth and all the scary stuff until it was time. So he didn't talk to them really at all either. Now, Banks, she played Phoebe, never seen the sharp teeth and never seen his red eyes until the scene. And when you see the scene where he picks her up by her jaw, and as was stated earlier by Blood and Bruise, give me the amulet, bitch. Okay, so he picks her up by her jaw, right? And his eyes are closed. So she doesn't see what he's about to do. The screams that she does are real. He opens up his eyes. He's got red contacts in. He opens up his mouth and he's got these sharp fangs and he lets out this monstrous hiss. She screamed. That scream was real. However, they had to actually do that take again because the scream had to be longer. But what you see, and what they did was this. They took the first clip that they got of her screaming, and then they redid the second one, and they merged them together because her real scream was great. They didn't want to get rid of that. They needed that. They wanted that genuine fear, that terrifying look on her face. That was real. Ashley, in interviews and in the documentary, does speak about her role at this part and how terrified she really was, which was another cool thing that I picked up. And of course, this information that I'm telling you is from that documentary. Wouldn't fly these days. Oh my God, no. None of the terms that they used in the Monster Squad would fly these days, blood. I'm gonna go over here, Horde, Reanimator. Thank you for the stream, research and chat. Everyone have a nice rest of your day. You too, Basement Cat. Enjoy yourself. Really, I need to tell you something. My friend told me he met CJ Graham from Jason Lives, and he was completely thrown off because he said this guy he is a giant, Wickedy, and he's a sweet giant. He's a sweet guy, Wickedy. Okay, so scared the ever-living shit out of her. Now, Decker did know all about Redger's plan, and, when Ashley was getting ready to do her scene and she was talking to Fred, she asked Fred, because she's an actor, she goes, when will I know when I'm supposed to scream? And Decker turned around and said, oh, you'll know. And sure enough, she did. In the documentary, and every time she does a panel, she does talk about this. And she said that her cry was 100% real. When she screamed, it took her breath. And she was also scared. She was scared of Rutger, and she also scared Rutger as well. Because he also states in the documentary from 2018, he says that girl can scream. So it was great to have that little bit there when you can get genuine reactions from people in the film. I think that's way better than just the acting part of the film. So is Tyler Mane. Tyler Mane's a big bitch. Yeah, he did Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's Halloween. Yeah, it was kind of scary looking, that guy. All right, here's another little tidbit. Jason Hervey wears a Walter Payton shirt in this movie, while his on-screen brother from the Wonder Years, Fred Savage, wears a Walter Payton jersey in The Princess Bride. I thought that was a cool little bit of crossover there. I love The Princess Bride, by the way. It's definitely one of my most favorite films from back in the day. I watched The Princess Bride like it was going out of style. That was my movie, besides the Monster Squad, to watch over and over and over again. I don't know who here has watched The Princess Bride, but if you haven't, check it out. All right, we've got an ad over on the Twitch side of things. Your sister too? I fucking loved. Okay, so growing up as I wasn't a teenager yet. My movies were Dirty Dancing, The Monster Squad, Goonies, and Princess Bride. Those are movies that I watched over and over and over. I can recite the words to those movies because I watched them over and over and over. Me and my cousins loved these films. Anybody want a peanut? Not watch The Princess Bride. Macabre, you're gonna fucking love it. Go watch it. Oh, I love The Princess Bride. Dread Pirate Roberts. Check it in as you wish. Yeah, have fun storming the castle. I've seen it so many times. Yeah, definitely. All right, Ed. The Goonies is great. I've seen that a million times. Short Circuit, batteries not included. Do you remember batteries not included? They look like little cheeseburgers flying around. My name is Indy. Yeah, Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Definitely. And he is such a good young actor back then. He plays Jason Gideon in Criminal Minds. Such a good film. I had to stop myself from buying some Princess Bride McFarlane figures at the bookstore a couple of minutes ago. It's great. Flashdance, oh fuck yeah, and Footloose, Tremors, those were my movies in my teenage years. Yes, for sure. Nice. I've seen it about 10,000 times. Yes, inconceivable. Not watched The Princess Bride. 10,000. Yeah, Weird Science, another awesome one. Mandy Patinkin Rules. Yeah, Weird Science is great. That's another one. Welcome back from the ad break, guys. Okay. Tragically, Brent Challam, who played Horace, he passed away from pneumonia at the age of 22. So in 1997, he passed away. And you're probably saying to yourself, how does a 22-year-old young man pass away from pneumonia? Well, the hospital done fucked up. Yeah. So Brent went to the hospital the first time around and they were like, he has pneumonia. They sent him home with some stuff so he can oxygen and whatnot to get better. Well, he didn't get any better. He was rushed to the emergency room where they gave him the wrong medication. Brent, aka Horace, is an asthmatic. And when he went to the hospital the second time, the emergency gave him a medication that he should not have had. And unfortunately, he passed away not that long after given that medication. So he never got to see how big the Monster Squad became and what kind of fan base and how many people were inspired by Horace and who could relate to that character as a pudgy young kid who got picked on. Many people in the 80s, 90s, even today can relate to Horace's character. And it was such a sad thing to hear that he never got the chance to see the greatness and the inspiration he created by playing his role as Horace. He will forever be immortalized with The Wolfman's Got Nards and My Name is Horace. He will always be remembered for that. So that's a nice thing, but it does suck, and it is sad that he never got to see the reach that he had on the youth. Obsessing about The Princess Bride as a young Roberts myself, and then watching Saw years later was quite a weird shift. I know, right? Definitely sad news. Definitely sad. Yeah. I thought that was sad. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit of drama. Yeah. The Monster Squad had the biggest drama on set was Peter Hyams wanted to fire Fred Dekker in the first week of filming. And you're probably saying, who the fuck is Peter Hyams? Peter Hyams is one of the executive producers. He's a great guy, and him and Fred are friends, and Fred did learn a lot from Peter. So Peter Hyams, now, his reasoning for wanting to get rid of Fred was that he wasn't shooting the movie the way Peter would have shot it, right? Fred was taught some really valuable lessons for the first half of the set. Fred was quoted saying that basically he received directing 101 education from Peter himself and utilized what he learned from Peter, and Peter got a little bit more relaxed at, being okay with Fred Dekker directing this film. So at the second half of the film, Peter walked away, let Fred do his thing, not hanging over his shoulder, and let him do his thing, which the second half was more towards the ending, right? So Fred Dekker impressed Peter so much. Fred said, second half is on you, bud. You go and do it. And the last 25 minutes is Fred Dekker's favorite scene, not because Peter wasn't there. It's just of all the hard work that came to fruition and the big battle that you've seen at the end. The last 25 minutes is pretty friggin' amazing. It's one of my favorite scenes as well. Yeah. Talk about learning as you go. Definitely. My dance movie was Clockwork Orange. Oh my Lord. Clockwork Orange was good. But yeah, that is a piece there. Let me see my other little slides here. So you remember in the Monster Squad, Horace has a comic book that gets torn in half, right? So Horace's comic book that EJ tears in half is called Wonder Woman #3, and it is dated April 1987 and titled Deadly Arrival. Not sure if anyone here knew that. Hi, Kagoogle. Welcome to the crib. Thank you for the follow. Thank you very much for the follow. There are several homages and Easter eggs strewn throughout the Monster Squad. I don't know if any of you actually seen some of these. There are a ton throughout the Monster Squad. So in the clubhouse, you can see a poster for Lucio Fulci's Zombie and Dannon O'Bannon's Return of the Living Dead. Both can be spotted in the background where the kids are in the clubhouse. Wolfman getting blown up. Crazy cool scene when it comes back together. I know, right? That is an insane scene where he gets blown up. I was watching the documentary and the cop, the guy who played the cop, his young child was there during the filming of it. And his kid watched his dad get beat up by the Wolfman and also seen the Wolfman get blown up. And then the Wolfman comes back and his body comes back, right? And he just puts himself together. That is an epic scene, which is really cool to see a werewolf get blown up and come back together. Yeah, definitely. That's what we in the business call foreshadowing. Right? Here's another little tidbit. When Dracula deboards the airplane, you can see the word Browning in plain sight. Ted Browning directed the original Dracula film. So that's a nod to Ted. And then later in the film, the squad studies the map to locate Dracula's castle. Remember that? There's a signpost for Cheney College can be seen, and we know Lon Chaney played Larry Talbot in the original Wolfman movie. That's a little throw to that. The armadillos glimpsed in Dracula's castle. So you're coming into Dracula's castle, there's some armadillos. They're there for a reason. And that reason is those armadillos in Dracula's castle at the very beginning is a reference to Dracula 1931. So the Monster Squad, all in all, is basically a love story to the Universal Monsters. It's not a ripoff by any means. It is a literally love story to the Universal Monsters. So many different things that they brought in. Now, there's also a brief scene where Frankenstein monster meets Phoebe playing by the water, which is a clear homage to a very similar, yet more tragic scene in the original Frankenstein monster film. And that happened in 1931. If you've never seen Frankenstein before, I'm going to tell you to go and watch the original 1931 Frankenstein. In that film, Frankenstein sees a little girl, meets a little girl, and she's playing down by a pond or a river, a body of water. And she's popping off the tops of daisies and throwing them in the water. That's how Frankenstein's monster gets the daisies in his hands. If you ever see any of that reference on like Funkos or in the NECA action figures, that's the reason why. So the little girl is there and she's popping daisies off and she's throwing them in the water and they're popping up and they're floating. Frankenstein's monster, not knowing better, picks up the little girl and throws her into the body of water, expecting her to pop up like the daisy. Unfortunately, she doesn't, and she drowns. And of course, the father comes back, finds his daughter, brings her through town. Now, that's a death that Frankenstein's monster did not mean to cause. He did not know better. So that tragic scene there is in the Monster Squad, but obviously Phoebe doesn't get thrown into the water. That is a direct nod to the 1931 film. The Gilman suit now. This is a fun little tidbit of information here with the Gilman suit. Hold on here. I love the actor who played the Wolfman in Real Genius. Yes. Grease. That's his name. And Real Genius is a great movie. Okay. So, the Gilman suit was a full suit that Woodruff was glued into for 12 to 15 hours a day. Glued into. The suit was molded to fit his body. Woodruff fell asleep by accident after the lagoon scene. So there's a scene with the lagoon and he's in the water. He's all wet. His suit is wet. He's tired. He's hungry. He goes and sits down on the couch, but accidentally falls asleep in this suit. He woke up, not even knowing where he is at this point in time. He panics. He had a major panic attack because he woke up and had no friggin' clue where he was or what he was in. All he felt was this heaviness and wetness all over him. He actually talked himself down once he realized and reminded himself that he was on set as the Gilman in the suit. This suit was literally glued to him. This wasn't a suit that you just zipped up. This was a suit that he made specifically for his body. And that's how he got a suit on. There's no zippers. Unlike in the Creature from the Black Lagoon, Universal Monsters, you can see the zipper for the creature, right? He was glued into this motherfucker for 12 to 15 hour days. That is quite heavy. And I say that is a lot of commitment. Now, as we get towards the end of CCOH, not quite fully the fucking end, but towards the end, do you guys know that 13 minutes worth of deleted scenes happened? And according to Fred, TriStar wanted the movie under 90 minutes. So 13 minutes of the footage was literally cut from the original. Many of those cut scenes have been restored on various TV airings of the film. I don't know. Kratos, I don't know. They didn't get into that. I couldn't find that anywhere. I guess you're holding a dead walk or you're watching what you eat. I don't know. I don't know how he did it. There was no real reference to that. They interviewed him in the documentaries as well, and there is no no one asked those questions. Maybe they didn't have enough balls to ask those questions. But if somebody ever does, ask them questions. Some of the cut scenes that I have for you include the resurrection of Dracula via Van Helsing's stake. There also a scene between Phoebe and her mother in the kitchen, Horace freaking out while approaching a ghoulish house, and a scene of Rudy embracing Patrick's sister during the finale. So these scenes you have seen if you've watched one of the various Reset for a TV series, TV movies on the TV. Also, if you have the collector's edition, you'll see these deleted scenes as well. Intermittent fasting. That's a big, huge possibility. Look at you over there, Ace, with your evil and horniness. Should they try and remake this movie? No. You would not bring the same... You wouldn't bring the same vibe at all. You know how PC this movie would be? How a lot of what we could relate to as children would be removed? We all can relate to being bullied as a kid. And if you were one of the heavier set kids, you understood how it felt to be picked on, especially called the word fat. Being called a geek or a nerd or anything like that for enjoying monsters and comic books. These are things that many of us can relate to almost back in the day. You've ever shaken his head. Whereas, oh shit, I didn't mute that. Anyways, whereas today's children, they might be able to relate to that because there's a hell of a lot of bullying. However, they won't see it because they'll cut that out. Right? Everything's got to be rainbows and unicorns and fucking butterflies. Nothing can be real. So I think it would be a horrible thing to do a reboot or a remake of the Monster Squad, plain and simple. Same thing with the Goonies. Being picked on as a goth kid in a preppy high school. Yeah. You saw Renfield. Nice. Yeah, I wondered why my dick was bouncing off the chin with horniness like that. Exactly, Ace. You would have maybe 15 minutes worth of a movie if this was edited to be PC. Hell yes, you would. That's a great question, Blood. I don't think so. I don't think this could be remade and still have that same feeling. Just like I don't think many movies could be made from our back in the day to have the same effect or feel. Look at Faces of Death. They remade Faces of Death. They remade it to suit today's society. However, it does not have that same taboo or appeal as the original Faces of Death. You can try to recreate that, but it ain't going to happen. And I think it would be really bad if they did that for this. Now, we're going to get to the marketing, and here's something really cool. So they created these wanted posters, and I have a copy of them right here. Okay, so this is part of their marketing that they threw up. They threw these up all over the place. They created these wanted posters with the monsters on them and posted them around. The monsters on these were not the monster actors. As you can tell, the Dracula is some from random Dracula and the mummy is some from random mummy, right? They did this to kind of copy the old West, where the images never looked like the person that they were going after, because let's get real, they didn't have actual photography like they do now. And so they recreated these looks for a vampire looking creature and a mummy looking creature. Now, the words on here are quite funny, and I don't know, I'm going to try to zoom in for you guys. Wanted, felony neck biting, unlawful blood sucking, assault and battery. Description: eyes bloodshot, complexion deathly pale. Comments: serious overbite. Caution: suspect armed, winged and dangerous. Wanted, interstate flight to avoid burial, armed bandage, statutory rap. You couldn't get away with that today. Description: eyes, one glazed, one missing. Complexion, decomposing. Comments: receding gums, dry, flaky skin. Caution: has a tendency to become unraveled. Tell me that is not fucking awesome. Yeah, battery. Tell me that is not awesome. I thought that was really creative commentary. I thought that was awesome to see these wanted posters that were around, and they said help is on the way. The Monster Squad opens August 14th at theaters everywhere. This was back in 1987 that they created those. Tell me that is not fucking genius. Be so cool to have some of the original copies of those posters. There are people who do, Blood. In that documentary for 2018, you'll get to see some of them. It is. That's so punny, right? Thank you for the stream. I'm off to watch Grindhouse so we can return our rentals. Have a good one, Kratos. Hello, Yer. How are you? Ahead of its time, man. Those posters are awesome. Do you know how we got a DVD for the Monster Squad? Did you know that? Yeah, okay, the movie came out in 87. It went to VHS. But when DVDs came out, brand spanking new, there was no plan to do DVDs. Not one iota to do DVDs. They didn't do DVDs until fans wrote to production and wrote to the companies that they wanted DVD copies of the Monster Squad. One diehard fan wrote 61 letters saying they want a Monster Squad DVD on DVD. Eventually, we got the Monster Squad on DVD. So that was a really cool thing that the fans did. There are super diehard Monster Squad fans out there, which is so friggin' awesome. And you get to see some of them in the 2018 documentary. And it's great that the fans were the reason we have a DVD. Because when DVD came out, there wasn't a lot of movies on DVD. A lot of the movies that were on VHS never made it to DVD. And Monster Squad would have been one of them. And hell, you wouldn't know. Maybe we would have gotten a DVD. That could have been 20, 30, 40 years down the road if we would have ever got one, right? So my hat is off to all those fans that wrote in saying we want a DVD of the Monster Squad. Oh, I have a lot of favorite scenes. I love seeing Frankenstein's monster for the first time. The Wolfman being reanimated again is another great scene. I love the battle. That is definitely a good time. Do you remember when DVDs first came out and scene selection was a thing? No more rewinding? Yup. And chapters? I was there. Pepperidge remembers. Yeah, that's some shit. I remember that a long time ago. And Blu-ray. I remember Betamax and VHS. And that was some time. So that is what I have for you guys today. I hope you did enjoy it. As the credits roll on another thrilling episode of Coffee Chat of Horrors, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you watching this right now as we are live. And a really big thank you if you are watching this as a VOD over on my YouTube channel. I really enjoy doing these deep dives with you guys, and I do hope you enjoy them. So thank you so much for watching this deep dive on the Monster Squad. From the chilling encounters with Dracula and Frankenstein's monster to the heartwarming bond of friendship that prevail against all odds. This film has truly captivated our imaginations, and those of us who grew up on it has influenced our lives on numerous levels. And if you crave more spine-tingling conversations about horror cinema, be sure to subscribe to this channel over on YouTube, obviously, and turn on that little notification bell to let you know when I go live or upload a new movie. You don't ever want to miss a live horror discussion because it's live. Fuckery and shenanigans happen around here. And I think the best conversations happen when they are live. So make sure you do that. We will be back soon with more hair-raising tales and in-depth analysis of your favorite scary movies. Until next time, stay spooky, stay curious, and keep embracing the magic of the movies. This is Coffee Chat of Horrors signing off. Sweet screams. I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me. Have an amazing weekend. And thank you so much for watching. Now we'll do our little credits here. And I'll thank you guys with that. Thank you, Ace. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Dahi. Thank you, Lament. Thank you, Blood and Bruise. I appreciate it. Deadwalk Macabre. Wilson Gill. Thank you so very much for hanging out with us. Don, aka Ed Hillenberg. Dahi, Darkbreaker, She Kratos, Basement Cat, James. Thank you guys for being here and being a part of our horror conversation. Thank you for helping me make this content. Without you guys watching and being a part of this community, these probably wouldn't be that great. I'd be some strange woman talking to myself on the internet. Zacho Green, thank you so much for being here as well. Who's flashing us some tig old biddies? Lament Butterfly. Thank you. Devil Dog, thank you for being here as well. Thank you so much, Lament, for flashing us them tig old biddies. Time to finish dinner. Have a good one, guys. Thank you all so very much for coming here and hanging out with me. Monday night, we're going to be checking out an array of demo indie titles over on my YouTube gaming channel and here on Twitch. We're going to check out several indie demos. I hope you guys are around here for it because some of them are really friggin' scary and I cannot wait to show you them because we're actually going to play them. And that'll be a good time. But thank you guys so very much for your love and support and your encouragement and just being here, especially in my time of need. I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing weekend. I hope your Monday is just as awesome as you are. And I will slash yous all later. Love your guts. Bye.